late in the afternoon one day at the end of August when Moomin and his mother arrived at the deepest part of the great forest. It was completely quiet and so dim between the trees that it was if twilight had already fallen. They were searching for a nice warm place where they could build a house when winter came. Moomins cannot stand the cold of air. So they walked on further and further into the silence and the darkness. Moomins began to feel scared. Suddenly he gripped his mother tightly the arm.
Look!
From the shadows behind the tree trunk, two eyes were staring at them. At first, Moomin Mama was frightened too, but then she calmed down.
I think it's a very small creature. Wait, and I shine a light on it. Everything looks worse in the dark now.
And she picked a big flower lamp and she into the shadows. Then they saw that there really was a very small creature sitting there, and that it looked friendly and a little startled.
What are you?
I'm a Moomin doll, and this is my mother. I hope it didn't disturb you.
That's all right. I was sitting there feeling very sad and was longing for company. Are you in a great hurry? Yes, you see, we are looking for a nice sunny place to build our home, but perhaps you would like to come with us. Rather, I got lost and thought I would never see the sun again.
So they counted all three of them, taking a large tulip with them to light the way. But around them the darkness was growing deeper and deeper, the flowers glowed more faintly beneath the trees, and eventually the very last one went out. In front of them remained a black stretch of water, and the air was heavy and cold.
How dreadful. That's the swamp. I don't dare go there. Why is that? Oh, because that's where the great serpent lives.
We are so small that we probably won't be noticed. How will we ever find the sunshine if we don't dare to go across? Now come with us.
So they stepped as quietly as they could from tussock and tussock. The black mud bubbled and whispered all around them, but as long as the tulip lamp burned, they felt calm. At the moment, one mutual slipped and nearly fell in, but his mother caught hold of him at the last moment.
You shall have to continue if I go. I want to go home now. Don't be afraid, small creature,
said Mutual in a quavering voice.
There's still something cheerful and
At that very moment the tulip went out, and it was completely dark. And from the darkness they heard a hissing.
quick, quick, the great serpent is coming.
They paddled faster now. They could see a serpent swimming behind them. It looked nasty, and its eyes were cruel and yellow. The paddled as hard as they could, but it kept gaining on them, and was already opening its mouth with its long tongue. Mumintroll put his hand in front of his head and cried.
Mama!
And then he waited to be eaten. But nothing happened. Then he looked between his fingers. Something very remarkable had happened. The tulip was glowing again. It had opened all its petals, and in the midst of them stood a girl with bright blue hair that reached all the way down to her feet. Brighter and brighter glowed the tulip. The serpent began to blink, and suddenly it turned right round with an angry hissing and slid down into the mud.
Thank you very much for your help, madam.
Were you inside the tulip all the time?
It's my house. You may call me Tulipa.
And so they paddled slowly over to the other side of the swamp. Morning beautifully colored the way for them, and her blue hair shone like a bright ultraviolet light. The path climbed steeper and steeper, and the last mountain rose straight up, so high that they could not see where it ended. They had a rest, and Moomin Mama told them stories. She told them about what it was like when she was young, when Moomins didn't need to travel through darksome forests and swamps in order to find a place to live in.
In those days, we lived together with the house church in the house of Moomins, mostly behind their stores. Some of us are still live there now.
Tell us something about Moomin Papa.
He was an unknown child. He was always wanting to move from one store to the next. He was never happy where he was, and then he suffered to cope with the but he sometimes those little wonders. What sort of folks are they? Little short creatures. They are mostly invisible. Sometimes they can be found under people's doors, but mostly they wander around the world, don't stay anywhere, and don't care about anything. We can never tell if someone is happy or hungry, sad or surprised. I am sure that we have no feelings at all.
And this Moomin Papa,
Next morning, Tulipa led the way for them, and her blue hair shone like the bright ultraviolet lamp. The path climbed steeper and steeper, and at last the mountain rose way up so high that they could not see where it ended. They had a rest, and Moomin Mama told them stories. She told them about what it was like when she was young, when Moomin didn't need to travel through darksome forests and swamps in order to find a place to live in.
In those days, we lived together in the house of joy, in the house of human beings. Mostly behind their souls, some of us are still living there.
tell us something about Moomin Papa.
He was an unusual moment. He was always wanting to move from one store to the next. He was never happy where he was, and then he disappeared. To cope with the habits of life, those little wanderers.
What sort of folks are they?
Little small creatures. They are mostly invisible. Sometimes they can be found under people's doors, but mostly they are wandering around the world, don't stay anywhere, and don't care about anything. You can never tell if someone is happy or angry, sad or surprised. I am sure that they have no feelings at all.
And this Moomin Papa. Moomin Papa happy to now.
No, of course not. They think that we think into going along with them.
Imagine if we were to meet him one day. He'd be late, wouldn't he?
Of course, but don't expect permission.
And then she cried. At the same time, a rope ladder came dangling down the rock face. High up there, an old gentleman stuck his head out through a door in the mountain.
Well,
Pardon me, but you see, sir, it's really all very sad. Mummy and Papa was disappeared, and we were cold and come over this mountain to find the sunshine, and we haven't anywhere to live.
I see. You would better come out to my place then. My sunshine is the finest you could imagine.
They are ones of moving staircase that
Most
carry
elkezdte
them
így?
right
Igen, már most megy.
Jó, akkor most leállj.
rope ladder. They are ones of moving staircase that carry them right inside the mountain, straight into a wonderful landscape. The trees sprayed with color and were full of fruits and flowers. They had never never seen before, and below them in the grass lay gleaming white peaks of snow.
Be careful, it's cold.
But when he ran his hand through the snow, he noticed that it was not snow at all, but ice-free. And the green grass, the gateway under his feet, was made of fine sponge sugar. Crisscrossed over the meadows ran brooks of every color.
It's not water at all, it's lemonade.
Tulipa ran from tree to tree, picking armfuls of chocolate creams and candies.
I made all of this myself. The sun too.
And when they looked at the sun, they noticed that it really was not the real sun, but a big lamp with fringes of gold fatty butter. They soon had a sore throat after tasting all the sweets. Although the old gentleman wanted them to say, Moomin Mama decided to continue their journey.
Goodbye.
They took the old gentleman's railway through the whole mountain at a dizzying speed. When they came out on the other side, they saw the sea before them, glittering in the sunshine. Moomin Troll went to have a bath in the sea, and Moomin Mama lay down, all at once, and
Ez benne van.
They through the whole mountain at a dizzying speed. When they came out on the other side, they saw the sea before them, glittering in the sunshine. Moomin Troll went to have a bath in the sea, and Moomin Mama lay down. All at once, an ant lion came strolling across the sand. He looked very cross and said, "This is my beach, you must go away." Then the ant lion began to kick sand in her eyes. He kicked and scratched until she could not see a thing. Closer and closer he came, and suddenly he began to dig himself into the sand, making the hole deeper and deeper around him. At last only his eyes could be seen at the bottom of the hole, and all the while he continued the throw sand at Moomin Mama. Moomin Troll, the small creature, and Tulipa came and helped, and at last they managed to rescue Moomin Mama. Suddenly they noticed a mass of small, pale creatures pushing a sailboat out.
Those are the Navigators.
She ran to them and asked over and over again if they had seen Moomin Papa, but the happy catchers only looked at her for a moment with their round, colorless eyes, and then went on pulling the boat towards the vessel. It is possible that they didn't understand what she meant, for happy catchers are very stupid.
Jump in the boat, children.
Now I'm finally again. I'm almost beginning to wish I hadn't come with you.
Shortly afterwards, they made friends with a friendly sea troll. A heavy storm came shaking their boat, but luckily soon they found themselves on the meadow that was full of green flowers.
All four of them went singing to flowers. The sun was rising now.
I should like to live here. These flowers are even more beautiful than my orchids. Besides, my hair never really matched it properly.
Look, a house made of real gold.
and they were hunting him. Mama went up to the tower and knocked on the door. After we arrived, a hatch in the door opened, and the boy with completely red hair looked out.
Almost, but we are quite certain now.
Then the boy opened the door wide and invited them to come in. And when he caught sight of Philippa, he immediately moved, for he had never seen such beautiful blue hair before. And Philippa thought his black hair was quite shocking. In the middle of the shower room was a table on which was sitting
Then the boy opened the door wide and invited them to come in. And when he caught sight of Philippa, he made a deep bow, for he had never seen such beautiful blue hair before. And Philippa thought his red hair was quite charming. In the middle of the shower room was a table on which there was an enormous steaming sea pudding.
Is it really for us?
Of course, I keep lookout here when there is a storm out at sea, and all who escape into my harbor are invited to seafood. That's how it's always been.
Thank you very much. You must have invited a lot of people asking for seafood in fashion.
Oh yes, people from every corner of the world.
I suppose you haven't seen any Moomins by any chance.
Yes, one. That was after the cyclone last Monday.
Did he keep putting his tail in his pocket?
Yes, he did actually.
Hoorah!
Where did he go?
He took the road to the south.
Then we must go after him at once, habitually.
Wait a bit. Pray to report. I suppose you wouldn't like to stay with me, would you?
Oh yes, all the time I was thinking of that. I was thinking how well my hair must shine for seafarers in your glass tower. I'm very good at making sea pudding.
Then they all hugged one another goodbye. Mummy went on his way so far with his mother and the small creature. All day they were foolish, and all night it rained, and in the morning it was simply pouring down in bucketfuls. When they looked out, everything was grey and melancholy. Then they walked in the pouring rain for 2 more days.
I think I want to go home.
The others had caught sight of something strange that was dancing and whirling towards in the water.
They've been shipwrecked, a whole family. Mama, we must rescue them.
There was, of course, their armchair, and in the chair sat a wet cat with a pipe equally wet against her arm fur. They hugged the grateful cat out to dry land. Suddenly the sun started to shine.
We don't have time to wait until the water seems to get us into the armchair, children, and then I will push on to the way.
As they paddled, they found a message in a bottle in the water. It read, "Dear Spider, please do what you want to rescue me. My beautiful house has been swept away by the flood, and now I am sitting hungry and cold in a tree while the water rises higher and higher. Another human being."
Lonely and hungry and cold. Oh my poor Jenny and Joy, this summer probably snows ago.
Don't cry. He may be sitting in a tree somewhere very close. After all, the water is subsiding as fast as can be. Look, I wonder what that Marabu stork lost. He looks even angrier than the hammer.
My dear impudent child, if you were nearly 100 years old and had lost your spectacles, you wouldn't exactly look pleased either.
Moving spotted the stork's glasses in the grass and ran as fast as he could on the shore path.
Hello, hello, he cried. Here are your that place, Uncle Stork.
Really, Tartus, You are not such an impossible little child after all, and what are you looking out for?
My father is after tree somewhere.
You will never manage it alone, but I will help you because you found my spectacles.
Then he picked up Moomin in his beak very carefully and put him on his back. Moomin had never flown before and he thought it was tremendous fun. The story took Moomin Mama and the small creature out to the sky too.
I think this is the most wonderful thing we have visited so far. White flying is not nearly as frightening as I thought. Now keep a good look out for Moon Papa in all directions. Then
Papa,
There on one of the highest benches of an enormous tree sat a red-tailed Moomin Papa staring out over the water.
now we shall never be separated again. Where have you been all this time? Was the house a very fine one? Did you think of us often?
It was a very fine house, my dear little boy. How you have done?
Well, I think I had better put you down on dry land and try to rest you a few more until the sun goes down. It's very pleasant resting with people.
Thank you very much. You have no idea what a fine house I have been able to build it all by myself. But if I get a new one, you will be welcome there anytime.
How big was it?
3 rooms, one sky blue, one sunshine yellow, and one.
Did you really mean us to live there too?
Of course, I look for you always everywhere.
Then they sat and told one another about their experiences and they soup until the moon had risen. Next morning the water had subsided and they all went out in to the house that almost looked like a stove, very elegant and painted blue.
That's my house. It must have floated here, and here it is.
Hooray!
now we are rich. We can buy a car and an even bigger house.
No, this house is the most beautiful one we shall ever find.
And then she took Moomin by the hand and went into the sky blue room. And there in the valley they spent the whole of their life, apart from a few times when they left the town and traveled for a change.